This is NCAA Football 2003, and this is a live stream for a reason. I find that when I record these videos and upload them, there are not very many views, and so I wanted this to be something in a subsection of a live stream. I have YouTube Shorts and all that, so let's check out how this can work. I want to go into practice mode. Well, I want to make sure I actually load the correct settings. So it says human, All-American. We may even mess with Heisman at some point. Just to show you here, 10 minutes All-American. We're not really playing a game right now. And the computer offense, I don't really have that like super managed as well as I would like. I'm even considering actually like increasing the wide receiver catching and all that. These were like recommended settings I got from Operation Sports that I've been managing, manipulating all of that. And one of the things that I also have wanted to do is increase those 100%, like all the way up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a rating that I wanted to do. Excuse me. Human. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 is something that I wanted to do. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that feels about right. So we make a few adjustments there. And we're going to go into practice mode. And it just has it set to randomized teams. We're going to go with Boise State. And I think we're going to go against someone like Georgia, who is a high-ranked team. We're going to use Boise State's playbook. We're going to mess around with stuff. We're going to mess around with plays. And try to have a good time. So, Boise State playbook. After special teams, the very first set is ace normal. We have halfback option and halfback draw as runs. We have a speed option in the other direction. Then we go dive and toss. We have sting, off tackle and counter trap, and slam. Yeah, those are the plays. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 pages, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 pages. Because halfback option is 10 pages. So there's 6 pages of 3 plays, right? So there are 18 plays in the book, and you can see it alternates between 2 runs and 1 run, 2 runs and 1 run, right? So there should be basically 9 and 9 between the 2 different play types, run and pass. So I've done videos about running the football. I'd like to do videos talking about passing the football. Some interesting things here, some plays that I like, some plays that I don't like. Might as well go through them one at a time, maybe even make notes to make individual videos and tutorials. But we're going to take a look at wide receiver streaks, and we're going to set defense to random. And yeah, you're basically attacking the seams. And one of the things that like I'm not a big fan of is how close those routes are together in terms of truly stretching the defense. So instead of random defense, let's first look at types of defense. In the 4-3, they have man lock. So that's cover 1. So we can't see the defensive play formation, but let's just understand that we're going to have man coverage and a single high safety. So let's drop back here, and then let's fire the ball and just kind of discuss strategy for a second. Right? You as a quarterback drop back, and you see a single high safety, and we're running seams. And they're just so close together. You're not really putting pressure here. As a safety, he can just drop back and just go to the side that the ball is being thrown on. There is no stress. There is no pressure here. I hope that makes sense. So let's call the same exact play. And you see crash left is the same. You see crash right is the same. QB spy, double flanker. Like you notice that yellow arrow pointing to the middle of the field as single high, storm blitz. Yeah, you see that middle arrow, right? Mid blitz, cover 1, like over and over and over again. But you might notice, you say, Paul, you're not mentioning some of the other plays. Base here has the 3 arrows deep. So you see the cornerbacks both have the arrows pointing deep, and then the safety pointing to the middle of the field. But the other safety doesn't have an arrow, he just has a line. He's in a zone, right? He's in a different kind of zone that is not like a deep zone, okay? So those are cover 3 looks. And that's kind of what we want to look at is cover 3. So let's look first against base. And again, we know a single high safety is dropping back, and then we come here, and then we fire the ball down the field. And let's have the conversation here. This is a deep third corner. You can see him dropping deep. This is a deep third safety. Dropping deep. So you've got 2 deep thirds. I said he's in a different kind of zone. Drops back a little bit, and then he sits there. Right? So, in theory, the weakness of cover 3 is this seam. Right? This player has to care about the wide receiver. This player has to care about the middle of the field. And, like, in a perfect world, if we know exactly what the coverage is, can we even send him out? Wow, he's not going in motion? Wow, okay, he won't go in motion. Do we have another play like this? Okay, and then do we have a slot play here that I can just physically show you? I bet we don't. It's frustrating. Whatever, don't care. Wide receiver deep outs. Let's call that. Let's again go back to base. L, send them on a route. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to show you. We're dropping back. And complete that pass. So, I wanted to show you this out of ace, but we might as well show it to you here. We're running a route down the field. And, like, in a lot of ways, like, we've got to be able to respect this and not the fact that his hand is going through his body. Like, great. This is just so great. He's going to cut his own head off with his hand. Okay. The idea is that if this safety, excuse me, is, like, sitting down here on this play, and then you're, like, running up the seam, they're basically splitting this safety and this corner, and you're firing it with inside leverage in here, which I did pass lead to the left, and he's going to catch it in some kind of pocket and get it. And if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he one hands it and he catches it, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hitch step, fire with a bullet pass lead inside. Like, that's supposed to be like the ideal weakness, if you want to call it that, for the coverage. Getting the defender to turn his back and cover deep, and then you're throwing inside of him, and blah, blah, blah. And you have other routes that potentially stem or threaten the safety, which this doesn't. Because, well, real-life football, they're not video games, and they can actually read and react, and they understand leverages. And this player has a route called not a route, but a coverage called a seam curl flat, where literally his job is to cover the seam. Like, your normal job in real-life football is to cover and protect this seam for this exact reason. And it's called seam curl flat because if the defender, or not the defender, the route runner, the receiver, doesn't run down the seam, then you're rolling to the curl that can come underneath it, because another weakness of this defense is this route coming back underneath as either a curl, like this is a hook, this should be the curl, and so you're running seam curl flat, so assume that he breaks underneath or whatever, and so you were pulling back to take the seam, and now it's your responsibility, since you don't have the seam, since you're not pattern matching the seam, that you, as you're drifting, you're then running hard to get to the curl, to stop the curl from happening. So we're number 6, you're just pretending you're number 6, and you're like, yeah, so you can get this first person view, and you're like dropping back, you're protecting the seam. And again, imagine he's dragging across, and then you basically want to be able to run and cut and play this curl so that you can stop anything that's being thrown by the quarterback while you have your arms with the quarterback. You're not your arms, your eyes to the quarterback. I said your arms to the quarterback. Your eyes to the quarterback. You're looking, he's throwing the ball, and you're trying to intercept anything that's a curl or whatever kind of routes. And then you're playing from there, as it says seam curl to the flat, as if there is a back or whatever coming out to the flat. If that makes any sense, like the cursor, like the back is coming out. So you're like, seam threat, not there. In this case it is, and we're just going to run with it. But like seam flat, curl, and then like you're coming up to the flat in case they're throwing it out to make a tackle. I hope that makes sense. So with that in mind, it's a video game. They don't do that, and he's allowed to basically just run at the seam. And when you're playing the video game, you also know that that's a weakness of the computer, is it doesn't play it, and then you fire it in here, and he one-hand catches it, and takes the shot, and all of that. And you could say that I need to go into settings, I need to go to AI settings, and I go to defense computer. It's full knockdown, everything. Everything is all maxed out all the way. I need to go to offense, human, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try 7. So 2 clicks lower in wide receiver catching, and see if he actually gets drilled and can drop the football. It is what it is. We're not trying to get lost into the weeds there. But if I don't have the threat of a Georgia Bulldog safety coming over and whacking me after a one-handed catch of a threat of dropping that ball, then like, what are we doing? And it's no disrespect to my actual player right there. Fanucci here has 84 catch. It's pretty good, especially for a college player. And we're like, L, go up here. There you go, nice little tip. Oh, because I have to reset it every time. Let's, do wide receiver deep outs. Flip, wide receiver deep outs. Base. There we go. Don't play in it. There we go. Like, this isn't what I was intending to do when I pressed stream. But there we go. Now we've got the awareness, and he's picking it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's pretty solid, even with the 7 catch rating. He's able to hold on to it. He wasn't blasted, he was grabbed. He's able to make a grab with 84 catch. 5. Able to make catches. So, I mean, why not just lower the setting until he stops making good catches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, that's computer. Okay, whatever. My bad. Let's go human, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I'm afraid of it being too low and they can't even catch. And I do like the fact that a wide receiver will aggressively attack there. Let's go back to base. And we're going to attack that seam like this. Kind of like that. That was like getting 2 hands on the football. There, he got it popped loose as he's trying to one-hand it. That's exactly what we're looking for. Like, he can 2 hands on it and hold on. He can one-hand it and get popped. That's kind of nice. That's like a point of getting some sliders set up. But you can again see it's like both the weakness it is and it isn't the weakness of this defense. So after that side tangent and side rambling, let me actually go in and make sure that there are any comments? No. It says we should be running the stream still, right? That's what it says. So I hit view, docs, chat. Should have the live chat. There we go. Alright. And yeah, we should be going just fine. Cool. Alright. Sorry about that delay. So let's go back to what I was originally talking about, ace normal. So we're here, we're tight end streaks, and we're talking about like attacking the seams. So we've covered cover 1, and we've seen cover 3, and there are multiple cover 3 plays. We're not going to get into CB Blitz right now. That's another cover 3. We can get into it in a little bit. Guts Blitz is another version of that. We can talk about that in a little bit. Man zone. So man zone in the middle, you can again see the 3 deep arrows, and then the strong safety, instead of being in a zone, he's in man. And ideally, he should probably still cover that tight end, if I'm thinking correctly. We can actually check that. And we can drop back. And he is, and he does, and we do. And there's the, again, we're just forcing the ball. and we're letting it play out, right? We're not trying to be like superstars right now, but we're just testing plays. So again, with the 3 deep, you can see whether it's cover 1 or cover 3 man, cover 3 base. Like, you're not threatening anything here. There's absolutely no threat. The middle of the field is taken care of, especially with these tight ends so close to one another. So we might as well discuss the other kind of cover 3 defense. This base is like considered sky in a lot of schemes. Different coaches have different names. It was taught as sky to me. Another coach has sky for a different word. So it really matters. Check with your team and your coach. Maybe you were taught different than I was. It is what it is. Cover through, or CB Blitz, the Y button option here. It has the safeties not dropping in the same kind of sky coverage, but it's still cover 3 because one corner is dropping back with an arrow, the other one is blitzing, and the 2 safeties are also covering other deep thirds. So, as I was taught, this is called cloud. So the idea there, you've got the clear open sky, and you've got clouds in the sky, and it's kind of like, one thing that made my imagination remember it is like both safeties are like floating like clouds in the sky or whatever. Does that make any sense? I'm sure that's not where it comes from, but basically the idea of sky and cloud coverage. So to me, cloud is both the safeties. It is cover 3, but the safety is like floating like clouds, and then the other one is not. It's sky. So you've got cover 3 blitz as a cloud coverage, and guts blitz is a cloud coverage. Man zone is a sky coverage. 3 strong is a cloud coverage. Does that make sense? Here, rush zone, the right-hand side, is a sky coverage. Safe is a palms coverage. That's the nickname there, like 4 palm trees or whatever. It's called palms. 3 deep spy, well, it's a spy play, but that's another sky coverage. Strong safety blitz is a sky. You know, cover 1 hold defenders. Cover 0s. Quarters is a palms. Zone blitz. Here is a sky coverage. I think you get it, and some players already know, and they're just like nodding their head, they're like, yeah, Paul, we already know, but some players don't know. So you've got cover 1 high, there's like cover 1 robber. I don't see robbers. So not all cover 1s are robbers, but if you want to quickly call it a robber, even though it's not the best name, it's basically like saying, hey, we're going to call cover 3, and you've got a robber, a 2 high shell, right, you've got another robber, you've got 0, you've got sky, you've got a robber, 0, robber, cloud, robber, 2 high, 0, cloud, sky, cloud, right, 2 high, robber, sky, palms, sky, sky, robber, 0, sky, palms, 0. You get it? Like, you're just kind of identifying the coverages at a glance. So with that in mind, the robbers and the skies have been reviewed as we're not really able to take advantage or attack them well. So we might as well take a look at different clouds, right? CB Blitz. So again, we're worried about the tight ends, L and A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just taking a shot. We catch the ball, and we get near the goal line, but are we really attacking something proper? Right? I mean, there's the whole thing like, oh, there's an empty side of the field, and no, can you see they're open? We're just trying to look at this. And we're throwing it directly here. There's positives and negatives here. One is it's just like, it's my guy versus your guy, and my guy wanted the football more than your guy did. And he didn't really play the ball or knock the ball out of my guy's hand or whatever. But it's this idea of like, he is covered. There's coverage over the top. And there isn't here. So, of the 2 choices, probably want to throw to this guy, right? So as you're dropping back and you're identifying the free safety and the strong safety, you've got here and here. And it's like, are they peeling to the middle of the field? What are they doing? We have a chance to just throw to L. And he catches it and he runs through the tackler or whatever. And we just throw it into the little pocket. And he gets hit, whatever. So there's the possibility against a cloud look. Let's look at more cloud looks like gut blitz. Watch the safeties. That's an accuracy issue. Like, they released this other tight end. So, against Sky and Robber looks, we don't like it. Against a Cloud look, it's a little bit better. Probably against a Palms look. Again, they're not deep shots. If we want to look at another Sky or a Palms look, those are not Sky, sorry, Cloud or a Palms look. Safe as a Palms look. Yeah, against the Palms look, they're a lot tighter. Right? The safeties are not bailing out like they would in a cover 2. They're either staying on, literally on these train tracks right here, right? Or within their train tracks. So they're literally in line with both of these players. And against the Palms look, it's not a good idea to go over the top, which is also the point of those Palms coverages. Same thing here's quarters, which is another Palms coverages. You draw it back. And it's like, yeah, we can complete it, right? He's going to get pressed. He's going to get off the jam. He's got a little pocket in between. We deliver it to his hands. He doesn't catch it. It's still football. Athletes need to go out there and perform. A good throw needs to be made. A good catch needs to be made. But you also, like, do you know that it's Palms coverage or not? Like, do you absolutely know that? Did you react to it well? Like, are you adjusting? Whatever. Next thing to look at are 2 high looks. So, 2 high shells. And this is kind of usually where you can get a completion in here. Is, unlike Palms, you see how they used to run the track? He's like leaving the track, you know? Same thing here. He used to run the track. Now he's bailing at an angle. And that allows us to attack either tight end by throwing with inside leverage. So we watch the safeties and we see something we like. And the middle linebacker still has the ability to play both. Right? Like, you still have to get it over the tight end. Or not the tight end. You have to get it to the tight end over the linebacker. So you don't always want to throw bullets. But if you lob it too much, you can get your guy killed. So you want enough of a bullet to, like, get the ball there, but you don't want a bullet so much that he can just destroy you. So we draw it back and we're like, okay, we fire that in there. He hands it. Drop here. Get those shots in. So there's opportunities with 2 high that we can definitely get completions here. It's not like a dead play, but the reality is there's certain coverages you like and certain coverages you don't like. So it's really important for you to ID the safeties pre-snap so that you know where you're going with the football and you know if you've got a favorable matchup or not, which is part of what I've said many times before. As you're dropping back, you know what your number 1 and your number 2 are. You're like 3 steps into the drop, and you already know, based on the safety movement, what kind of matchups that you like, and whether you're looking off or waiting for them to get past the linebackers into the hole. Because if you get other looks that you don't like, that's where you have to go to the wide receivers or the backs. So I think this was a really good opportunity to just focus on and feature a single play here. And we haven't even gotten into the other wide receiver routes. What is essentially like a slant or a micro post. And you also have a double move here to Wingfield. So you've got various options underneath if you know that you're not going over the top and you're pulling coverage away from there. I hope this was informative. I hope it was a fun way to get started with live streams. And I've got to go now. So thank you very much.